Hey guys, this is Danny at Partay. So I've been asked to do a demo for ultra short throw projectors. I've got a handful of folks who have requested demos over the past week, so I figured I'd take just a quick moment. Over the course of the next week, I've got to work on my property and get my property springized. Coming out of winter, taking care of some of the winter damage, stuff like that. So I'll be working on that, and I'll be working on the Vega for ultra short throws. Over the course of the next week. So probably the next upload that I'll do will be a few days from now. So just want to put that out there for guys that are kind of following and have any questions. You can still reach me via email if you have any questions. So just feel free to reach out. So real quick, got about 92 lux on the screen, and that's just from all the light sources I can try to pull into the room, because this is an extraordinarily bright room. But still wanted to give you on a mid-gray screen. Now that is the Daystar screen. It's this color here. So on a mid-gray screen, the Xiaomi Mi ultra short throw is doing a fairly good job along married with this Daystar screen. The Daystar screen is formulated to be able to do this, right, up to a certain lux. So once we get up about double this lux in the 200 range, the screen would really start to be impacted, and there's not much that you're going to be able to do to save it at that point. Why? Well, the reason why is, even though this is supposed to be 5,000, it's marketed as 5,000 lumens, and it's only sitting 13 inches away from the screen. Actually about 9 inches down, 13 out, I believe is what it was, because I looked it up after the last upload. And it's still doing a very good job. The problem is all this light is front facing, most of it anyway. So when it hits the screen, your reflectivity is coming up, it's hitting, it's going up to the ceiling, it's going over that way, it's going out to the wall, but it's not coming back at you. That leaves a big gap right here, right? That front-facing light fills that gap. There's no return, nothing of any consequence that's a return that's going to fight against that. So that's the reason UST is a very different projection altogether from long and short throw. For those of you guys who have bought them, you're learning that if you haven't learned it already. I've talked to guys who have WeMax 1s, which are 7,000 lumens, still 1080p, but 7,000 lumens, and they run into the same issues. Okay, so it's definitely a brighter projector than this model, but not so much difference in brightness that it compensates for that very much. So it just is what it is, guys. With ultra short throw, people can tell you that they're a cakewalk because they're sitting next to the screen. What that should tell you is that they don't know what the heck they're talking about. They don't know much about the art of projection and how the projection science works and beam angle and things like that, because it is a totally separate animal from your short and your long throws. All right, so enough about that. This is the Daystar, and I'm going to go ahead and show us a little something on it real quick. Sorry. My Shield, I recently upgraded it, and it is just taking a long time. Oh, excuse me. There's a reason why that's not coming up. It's taking a long time for it to rationalize some of the updates. Also, I'm noticing that my network service is dropping, so I'm going to have to play around with that for a little bit and try to figure out exactly what's going on. So I'm just going to play something that I have on here, and there's a reason for this. I'll show you in just a second, rather than going to standard YouTube type videos. So let's do this. Let's see what this is. So you can see it does a really good job. You got a full 160 to 180-ish viewing angle, all at the same level of brightness, very perceivable whites and stuff like that, right? So all there. And I think this one just doesn't do anything much. So I'm going to put another. There we go. So you can see your colors and things like that. Does a very good job at reproduction, even setting in close to 100 lux. All right. So the next thing that we would have would be, and I'm going to pause here real quick. All right, I've got our video paused here for a second. So what I want to show you now, next is a Sirius, but I sprayed this one in 2 parts. I had a lot of folks that were asking me about the surface spray that's been advertised out there from competitor. And I wanted you to see, because, you know, a lot of times you don't see that up close. But I wanted you to be able to see. You see that? So that is mica, very fine textured, even additionally ground from what we get in the canister. That is fine ground mica built into a surface spray over the top of that image. Now, if I show you from here, you'd never notice it, right? But as you get in, and here's the thing, I notice it more so looking at it with the natural eye than what you're picking up in the camera. It can be very annoying. So you notice I drew a line in this panel there. This is the side. Now you're going to pick up a couple of sparklies from overspray, but they're just kind of random here and there. That was just stuff that sprayed over from this side, which is full of it. You get over to this side and you see a couple of little randoms, but for the most part it's not there, right? That surface spray does nothing to increase the brightness of that image. Nothing. It doesn't work on ultra short throws. So you can blow as much of that stuff on a screen as you want to, and it's not really going to get you anything from an ultra short throw perspective. The finish on this, other than the random pieces of mica that hit it, the finish on this actually has no reflective agents whatsoever. It's less important with an ultra short throw to have those reflective agents. You say, why? Well, here's why. Because the more reflective that you make an ultra short throw, the more light you're actually distributing to the places you don't want it to go. Anything you add is going to continue to just go to these other places. What you need to try to do, right, as an ultra short throw enthusiast, is you want a screen that captures as much of that light there at the screen surface and encapsulate it. Now, the undercoat for the Sirius that I've got the line in is the same across the board. Now, just threw the spray on there just so you could see. It really does nothing. It's not going to enhance anything for an ultra short throw. So when you hear people say ultra short throws are a cakewalk, once again, they don't really know what they're talking about. You work with ultra short throws enough different brands, you start to understand the beam angles can be different. Even the reflective angle can be different because some are more shallow, some are a little bit deeper. But all in all, most of them are getting to where they're closer and closer to the wall, still able to project a large image from that close proximity. But it just makes it all the more challenging. Once again, you have a big gap of where light can come in, and unless you have a sawtooth patterned screen that points the light back at the audience, okay, those are special microstructures built into the screen. So at the end of the day, what we have is we have Daystar, we have Sirius, and we have Vega. This is actually the Vega. This is not the ultra short throw versions. Sorry, I had a phone call coming through and kind of threw me out of whack for a second. This is the long throw version. Okay, so not optimized for short throw. When it's finished, it should look something to that degree. Okay, and that'll be the Vega. So right now, the 3 that we will carry for ultra short throw are going to be the Vega, the Daystar, and then the Sirius, which is the black. Now this is the Diamante black, and I'm going to show you that real quick and how it doesn't do a good job. See that? Doesn't really do so well. If it looked like this, it would, but it's only going to look like that if you're using a long throw. Like this, nah, just super dim. So, you know, all in all, folks, just to show you that projection is not the same between an ultra short throw and a long throw. And I'm also going to show you this. So, where is my controller? I'm going to turn the screen off for the UST. And we are going to use the 3000 lumen Optima 143 or HD 143, and that's on the Daystar. So a UST screen works with the long throw, but not the other way around. And that's typically what you find, is that screens that are optimized. Now, this is not optimized for a long throw. I'll give you an example. The Daystar version is definitely going to be brighter. It looks, because where I'm standing, it's not doing a good job of, it looks kind of washed out because of the way the light's hitting it. But in this version, it is actually much, much brighter than the standard Daystar. And I'll even show you that you'll be able to get more in the light here with the Diamante Black. See how it's much different? It's hard whenever I'm working with a long throw, how it's much different in the amount of reflectivity and the amount of light, your brights and all that, than it was with the ultra short throw. So very, very different. 3000 lumens, not even pushing 3000 lumens because it's currently in eco mode. 3000 lumens versus 5000, setting just inches away from the screen. So when you hear people say, well, ultra short throws are a cakewalk, I would run for the hills. Just to be honest with you, I would run for the hills, because that's somebody who doesn't know. They've not worked with them. They haven't focused their attention on working with ultra short throws. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that guy. But we're just going to get out of that. It'll lead to seizure. So once again, this is with a long throw projector, guys, on a UST screen. 3000 lumens versus marketed 5000 lumens. So anytime people want to say, oh, well, those, you got thousands of lumens setting just an inch away from the screen, yeah, it's BS. Once again, they don't know much about ultra short throws. So just wanted to give you some information. You guys have questions, feel free to reach out to us at partaav@gmail.com, and we'll be glad to answer any questions. Thanks for your support. You guys take care.